To another episode of the Truth, Honour and Integrity show. Very packed, very packed. We're going to cover a range of topics. The song Separate Ways, indeed a common theme recently, as the Divide and Conquer programme given to us by the clowns is now being implemented by the people themselves, and none more so than the alt media. I and we have had to take it on the chin, a raft of alt media hosts, guests and love partner who departed from what we are doing in a raft of poor comments, lies and distortions all thrown at our group, mainly due to our connections with Kim and the Trust, from Shane to Randy to Jimmy and Chloe, and we have overcome all that and pushed on. But given the talk and bad mouthing of me by certain individuals over the past few weeks and the discord it causes, it's time to reveal two more who have stepped away from me and THI. Kim, the trustee, left a month ago. The irony, it was the same date as the Keenan fiasco 4 years ago. And so I guess the 4-year loop still applies in some circumstances. She made the choice herself to switch all operations away from me and THI over to the Tank and Dan, and the please press are increasing, and now at least 6 or 7 separate donation buttons, all let's sell out humanity and buy our Kringle crypto coins roadshow. And yes, I'm fully aware of the members of our group and his own of concerns raised about that group, and I agreed with many of them, but was asked to remain quiet, and I will remain so to a point. But it's now up to those people who raised those concerns to where they belong in their group. No longer does our group have to carry the can for others. Our group has unfairly carried the can for all of it, whilst others got off scot-free, it seems, and maybe that is indicative as well. So we are no longer the firewall, and it's why I took the decision for all questions on Kim and the Trust to now be directed at the Tank group. I have done my part with that, and I wish them well with that. Then this week I received a call from Alan of Circle of White Light, and he wants to step away from THI and the People's Club as well. He wants to focus only on the Circle of White Light now, and I wish him and Steve well, and thanks for the efforts and support given to THI and TBC in recent years. Yes, I know this is disappointing, but we can all sit there moping or carry on as normal, learning, improving and developing the TBC. And so there we have it. And that ends all the whispers and innuendo. And yes, I could have said something earlier which would have helped me personally, but one hoped the wrath had calmed itself by now, but apparently it's not. But given many of the members and people being on edge over this fake pandemic, I decided it was best to just carry on and see what unfolds. But has anyone noticed any difference or lessening of the shows in the past month? Nope. In fact, many have said they've got better over the past month. And now that I have more time, we will increase the most listened to shows and revealing the hidden world and their connections, and I have begun to engage the state groups again. And I'm currently working on 3 separate must listen to shows. We will carry on doing what we have always done, look after each other. And our group now will get a lot easier and better, that we don't have to spend so much time defending a number of the above mentioned people. Not all, but the bulk of them, which had become so disruptive to our group, and our focus is now THI and the TPC. I tried to bring in a core of people and add to it along the way, as that is the way to defeat the clowns, with sheer numbers. But some decided we are best all divided and fractured, and they ultimately are playing the game for the clowns they profess to want to end. THI does not and will not play their game, either with them or for them. As one door closes, another door of greater potential and importance opened this week, as I will reveal in full details later. But as they say, time always tells.
Clarification, statement in response to Mr. Williams' recent public announcement. As previously revealed by myself and also via Mr. Williams himself, there's been an ongoing investigation conducted by the Russian authorities into Team Bubba's connections to a child auction site with a Lithuanian server and several connected child pornography sites. During these investigations, it's been discovered that Mr. Williams also has connections to the same Lithuanian server and is now also being investigated by the Russian authorities. Due to the above, I can no longer associate with Mr. Williams and will continue to assist the Russian authorities with their investigation, that now sadly include Mr. Williams. Kim.
Update. In response to the heinous lies put out in the name of Kim the trustee on the UNC channel, that literally defy description and is a systematic and psychotic outburst of epic proportions. Truth will always find its way and I will say no more. Bring on the investigation, I say, it will be founded to be the bullshit as the scammer allegations. It clearly points to now that Kim is part of the Team Bubba package, and she will be exposed as not worthy of her position both as the trustee and ambassador. These disgraceful lies is evidence M''S. Goguen has lost the plot and is now being operated by the dark forces. I will reveal more in due course as this unfolds. Ms. Goguen has now clearly gone dark, and the original minor dispute of which she was responsible for, is an attempt to cover her own guilt in proceedings, and appears contrived. The very fact she joined up with RV and Crypto Men should tell you all something is very amiss with Miss Goguen. It is one thing to cover up guilt, due to a lack of shadow or inner work, it is another to make a heinous and unfounded allegation like that. Time will tell and I will be exonerated. Seen some things in my time but that Miss Goguen makes you just about on a par with the Black Sun Group and worse than the Rothschilds. Shame on you and karma will take its course.
This is fraud. UNC is not on Facebook. Kim did not make these statements. This page is not authorized by UNC. Any statements made on this page, in case Facebook does not remove it, are fraud. I have tried to contact the owner of this page and no one is responding even though they read my messages. Turning this over to an attorney. This statement is bogus and did not come from Kim, me. Honestly, I don't care if everyone at THI wants to slander me, but at least two of you bothered to ask me directly before jumping to conclusions. Neither of the two were Thomas, he also jumped quickly to believe what he heard without confronting me directly, which was hurtful to say the least. 1. I am not involved in crypto. 2. I did not make any negative statements against Thomas. 3. I did not nor will I ever associate myself with any Team Bubba people. 4. I will be live at 5 p.m. EST to tell you from my lips to your ears. Most of you have seen my face by now, so you will know the truth. This is Kim. You will see me live with my face directly. Social media has become nothing but the home of shills and trolls. Thomas Williams, you more than anyone knows this, Why did you not ask me directly, and why did you further send messages to anyone who knows me with more slander? Thanks a lot, friend. Next time, people, please ask me directly what is going on rather than perpetuating mass chaos as intended by the dark shills and trolls. Thanks. Kim.
This page, there is a page out there that has put out some pretty harsh things to try to taint the reputation, the growing reputation of the United News Channel, right? So for the record, that
and
is
others. Yeah. Right. For the record, that is not me. I did not make that statement. I am not involved in any way. I am also not on Team Bubba. I do not have a Kimberly Goguen Facebook page at all. I am not talking to these people, no Team Bubba people. I'm not even on Facebook for at least a month now, at all. Like, not even to look at news.
As a matter of fact, when we first were talking about UNC, I can witness to, Kim said very clearly that she had a bad feeling about Facebook. And I very much agree. Like Kim, I have a Facebook that I never use. That once in a while I'll stop in when somebody sends me a link. So there's nothing there. That is absolutely not true. So any conclusions that may have been drawn based on information that's on the actual Facebook page would be inaccurate. It's not real. It's not true. So you might want to retract. Okay, but now that being said, now, is that something you want to talk about now? Or do you want to hold on?
Sure.
Well,
sure. I just wanted to finish clarifying, because I do know that there are a lot of people on here from THI. Then we can move on to the progress news, right? So I have never spoken badly about Thomas Williams or THI members. All of you should know more than me, okay, about the amount of shills and trolls trolling the internet right now, censoring social media all over the world, and censoring YouTube. Videos are being taken down constantly. They have an army of people that are attacking the internet. So what better person to attack than us? Why? Because they're coming out with a new news channel and they're going to lose control over the narrative. And three-letter people, you know who you are, and I know who you are too. So every year on June 13th, someone in Project Paperclip had this epiphany that Kim is going to concede to the cabal on June 13th. So every year in June, this is the same thing we have done together now for 8 years. Yes, 8 years. Same operation, same tactic, same divide and conquer. This happens every year. So it's a surprise to me that certain people believed that I would actually, number one, waste my time arguing with some crazy people on the internet, or let alone joining these people, because I don't like that energy. It doesn't feel good to me. I ignore it. I avoid it. I like the plague. Next, you know, I know that there's some confusion in THI. I am not romantically involved with Thomas Williams. I just wanted to make that point very clear. Never have been, never will be. We are friends. We were co-workers.
We are friends. We were co-workers.
Work well together. Right now, we're involved in about 10 different major projects, plus my regular job. And that's what we're going to discuss next. The way forward and why we're doing it and what it's all about. And so this is, you know, the world is a big place. And I understand that some people have a lot of time on their hands to comb the internet. And quite frankly, it's their job for the cabal. So their job is actually to sit at their desk all day long, troll the internet, and make sure that no real news about COVID gets out to you, no real news about Kimberly Goguen and Kim Possible gets out to you, and no real news about what Tank's doing or Life Force is or anything else. And then they steal your logo off of a Twitter page and then decide that they want to speak for me. I will never, ever be on Facebook. Never. United News Channel, not Life Force, not any other entity that I am involved in ever again. That is it. So I know about the backdoors in Facebook, and you should all know this as well, because the Facebook is the worst channel, the easiest to manipulate, and you'll notice it by the fact